All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's episode. I'm really, really excited. Those in the US, good evening to you. Those in Asia, good morning. I know it's a weekday morning, so those of you who are sneaking, during work to watch this, I really appreciate it. But we're going to have so much fun. We have such a diverse pool of people watching, and yeah, just looking through the comments. Wonderful range of people. Gerald, and we have people watching from San Francisco and Philippines, and the in LA, in Malaysia. Let's see. We have Santi from St. Louis. We have Adrian Chia over here. We have Isaiah all the way from Africa. Wow, this is gonna be a really, really fun time, really global audience. And we're gonna jump straight into it. We have so much to talk about, and I'm sure you guys know who our special guest is today, and I'm sure that's the reason why you are here. And we're gonna jump straight in. We have so much to talk about and so much music for you to play for you guys as well. So I'm gonna bring on my very, very special guest, and he's none other than Mr. Dave Koz. Hi, Dave.
How are you, Daniel? Good evening
I'm
or good morning, I should say. Good morning to
yeah,
you. Good evening
yeah.
to
Morning here and good evening to you. How's everything been in LA?
Well, that's a very loaded question. This is 2020 after all. It's been quite the crazy
Yeah.
year. We are having a moment here in the United States, a very well, I mean, first the pandemic, and then we've had a tremendous reckoning of racial relations in our country. It's been a tremendous amount. We're so in the thick of it right now here in this country. It's hard to feel like that you have any sure footing of where this is all going. And it's difficult for a lot of people, but we're making it through slowly and surely. And I'm sure that everywhere in the world, I noticed so many people are listening from all different areas of the world. This is a time of year and a year in general that the entire world is going through major metamorphoses. So nobody is exempt. So we're just kind of hanging in. I've had a great day though. I've had a really fun day, and I was really looking forward to hanging with you and all of your viewers and talking music and talking shop and having fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. I know you've had a long day, and for you, I don't think you ever stay put, So, and you wear so many hats and are constantly busy. So, ever since this pandemic started, I realized you jumped straight into live streaming quite early actually. Was that something that you knew you wanted to do immediately when, all the gigs got canceled or postponed?
Not really. I think I marvel at people like you that have it down so much. You got the microphone, you got the lighting just right. I'm sitting here in my living room. I'm sitting at my piano right now here.
Wow.
I have no lighting rig. I have no music rig, and
It looks great though.
it's very low tech. And I'm a low tech person, very very low tech. But I think it was very early in it was even before the lockdown. I had just come back from New York. I returned back to Los Angeles. I think it was March. I think it was the 15th of March, and I was in the hotbed, New York City, writing music with my co-writers there
Wow.
while all this was going on. And it felt like every day that went by, like the world kind of was caving in on itself. So I finally came back to Los Angeles, and then I very soon went up to. I have a little kind of hideaway house up in Northern California that is a place that I'd like to go and write music and hang out. And I thought if this was going to be happening, this lockdown was going to happen, it'd probably be better to be up in Sausalito than in Los Angeles. So I went up there, and while I was up there, I was like, I feel kind of out of it. I would love to be able to connect with people. And it felt like there was so much going on, as you know, and so much happening that we couldn't find understanding. Like it was so weird and so out of our normal existence that I think everybody was kind of grasping for any kind of sign of normalcy. And so I would be on social media, and I would be hearing from supporters of mine and just saying, what's going on? Can you do something for us? And I was like, absolutely. If this is going to provide some calm, some comfort, and some sense of normalcy for people, as low tech as it was in those early days, I thought I'm gonna just jump in, and it was appreciated so much, and not even by the fans, but for me, it was such a great way to feel connected to music again, also at a time where I was grasping at straws trying to figure everything out. So it underscored for me once again, Daniel, the incredible healing power of music. Music is something that people go to in times of trouble, in times of strife, times of great questioning that we all have in our lives. And this year, 2020, has certainly been a year that has brought us to our knees in a lot of ways, and music has helped pick us up.
Mm. Yeah, and I guess the silver lining is that you were playing a lot of songs on these live stream shows of yours that probably you may not be playing on your live shows. And people get to connect on such a intimate level. I was just marveling at, I was watching almost every show, and it's just so amazing. I mean, you were just playing your saxophone, acoustically, no microphones, no reverb or anything, and it was just magical. And for a saxophonist, it was either, okay, I have to buck up, or get really terrified, because I mean, you just sounded so great. And I think there's something about that as well, I guess, to connect with the audience so intimately, and to so many people at once. So do you feel that connection a lot more when you do, a live stream online?
Well, it's very personal. It's a different kind of show, if you will. It's a different kind of performance, and it's less performance per se. Like a lot of the things that I do, it's just kind of my personality. I like to have a certain amount of polish. When there are certain things that are released to the public, album covers or even shows, when we travel, we like to have a certain kind of way it looks and feels. Like, it's important to me details are important, the fine details in presentation. In this moment, that kind of goes out the window because we just don't have it. And what I learned was that not being so polished and not being so pro and delivering this kind of real well-seasoned message, if I could just show up and just be there as a friend to people who love the music, that is what this experience was. It wasn't even as much performance as it was just a hangout session with people who wanted to hang out and hear some of their songs. And in the beginning, and still, if we do it again, I think we'll keep with this formula, which is a couple of days ahead of time saying, I'll try and hit as many songs as I can. Send in your requests. They don't have to be my songs. I'm happy to play any song if I know it. And I would pour over all these requests from people, and some were my songs, some were other people's songs. I was like, but people shared their stories. They talked about their families, and they talked about their sister, the nurse that was working overtime hours in the hospital treating COVID patients, and they were talking about being afraid to go to the store, and all these things, all these real world, real moments for people. And that's what those shows became, was a sharing of moments and trying to process all of this, because this is a year where we're living through it, but there has to be time for us to process it, because it's a lot. It's a tremendous amount for any human being to take on in any one year.
Yeah, it's so crazy, and just nice, we had a comment coming in off YouTube. It says, as much as I enjoyed and appreciated the live streams, which were fantastic, it's also great to see your satisfaction in doing the streams. I think people can see how much fun you were having, interacting and playing the songs that your audiences were requesting. And I think you did a lot, probably in one given session you were playing many different tunes, which is just lovely. And yeah, we have Agent Chia from Singapore. He says, Dave, WhatsApp me next time you're in town. I'll take you to the
Adrian, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, Agent had some good
to the last
yeah.
commenter, who it looked like from the name, it looked like he was a doctor. So shout out to all of our healthcare professionals all over the world that are really carrying the heaviest load during this time period.
Yeah,
it's a tremendous contribution that those people are making, and all the essential workers. I marvel at people that are out in the workforce. Even now, our country has opened up quite significantly, and it's come to bite us on the what, because I think it's been maybe, I want to say 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks in some places. But for California, it's been about 2.5 weeks or so of opening up. And we're starting to see all the cases spiked. I don't know what I think I was kidding myself, Daniel. I thought, God, wouldn't it be beautiful? Just prayed on this that we could open up and it'd be fine, but that little sucker virus is still out there trying to get us. So we have to be very careful.
But yeah, we just keep pressing on and doing what we can, I guess with what we are given. And I know you have done so much. You even did a virtual sail away party online. That was amazing, because you were supposed to have your cruise, of course, a yearly, tradition by now. So how did that feel, when you had to, realize that, the cruise was not happening and then leading to doing the live stream?
Well, I think the cruise for the people who have come, we've been doing it for almost 15 years now. And for those of your listeners or visitors that have been on our cruise, I think that anybody who's been knows what that experience is like. Ostensibly, people come for the music, but when they get off the ship, it's something else completely that they want to come back for. And that is that kind of, it's very hard to put into words, but basically you've got everybody there. You've got people from all over the world. You've got all races represented. You've got young and old. You've got Republicans and Democrats. You've got gay people. You've got straight people. I mean, it's basically a microcosm of the world all there. And for 1 week, because of music and everybody's shared love of music, everybody just gets along and supports each other and respects each other and nurtures each other. So it's like a microcosm of a perfect world that we know can exist if it's done in the right way. And of course, I know people get off the ship and go back to their regular lives, and regular life sets in. But at least people know in their hearts that it's possible for that to happen. And that, again, illustrates this incredible power of music. I'm humbled by that every time I step on a ship to do a cruise, that music can create this feeling for people. So to answer your question, long-windedly, sorry.
No problem.
I was very upset, obviously very upset that we couldn't do our cruise this year, that we had to postpone it. We have a cruise that's all ready to go for next year. It's sold out, and that is in May of next year. And I'm praying that we're able to do it. I don't know for sure yet, but I'm praying that we are going to be able to do that. And there's nothing like a cruise. There's nothing like that cruise experience. You're just marinating in the music with your fellow fans and fellow musicians. You're all on vacation together, and it's like everybody has a backstage pass. You're all in it together, and Daniel, you have to come sometime with us, okay?
Dave, I've been trying to get on for years now and just no luck, signed up for the mailing list and everything. But, if you have any spare space anywhere in anyone's suitcase, just let me know. Happy to
we'll get you on, buddy. And you got to bring that horn. We'll play together and have a great time.
Man, that would be amazing. Just watching it every year and just like drooling at my computer and like at the lineup and and you're right, just that vibe, all the music lovers, and everyone is one, and it's just so amazing. So yeah, I'm definitely looking for one day. I told my wife, that could be another honeymoon for us, and you guys are doing 2 weeks back to back now and it's still sold out.
Yeah, and amazingly enough, we have a very strong base of supporters, and most people come. If they don't come every year, they come every other year. It's like a musical travel club, and that's just what you brought up, the virtual sail away. Our sail away parties are when everybody's on the back deck. You got the party band going. The sun is shining. The ship is moving out from its port. This year was supposed to be Amsterdam and the British Isles. So Amsterdam is such an amazing city. The sail away is beautiful from there. We were so looking forward to it. And then I thought to myself, and I talked to the team, I was like, isn't this like, it's so sad. People are, of course, they're not in Amsterdam. They're not taking the cruise, but shouldn't we do something to kind of give everybody at least a little taste of that experience?
Yeah.
So I started to call artists, all of our headliner artists, and I said, can you do, if you're not available to do it live with us, maybe you can do a little videotape for our fans to just say, we'll see you next year, and we're missing you. And everybody did it. And from Brian McKnight to Jonathan Butler to Kirk Whalum to Rick Braun. We had everybody participate in that sail away, and we had thousands of people. We didn't just make it for our guests. We made it open to anybody, but we had thousands and thousands of people join in for that virtual sail away. So we might have to do that again sometime.
Yeah, that was really amazing. It just amazes me, how you pivot and make the best of the situation so quickly. And that was amazing. And and I guess by doing that, you were even able to bring in people who were not gonna be on the cruise, to have a bit of that experience, because it's streamed out worldwide, So I thought that was really good. I mean, me and my wife and I here in Singapore, we could watch it and feel like we were part of it, So that's just the amazing wonders of technology now. And
What's your wife's name, by the way?
she's Payson, or Miss Lou.
Miss Lou? Miss Lou.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just going to have you and Miss Lou come with us. I'm making a commitment to make that happen tonight,
All
right now.
right. That's amazing. We can't wait. It's just, those. And maybe you would have to do like 3 weeks in a row now, or maybe even 4 weeks. And it might still get put out.
You're trying to kill me, Daniel.
Yeah, actually, Adam Hawley is a great friend of ours, and actually, after your cruise last year, he actually came down to Singapore with Kat, and we did a concert together, and we hung out. He ate like mad as usual. Brought him around to all the best food, and yeah, Adam is actually producing my next album.
Is he really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Adam's an amazing producer and has had tremendous success. I really hold him up. He's a wonderful friend of mine. We played together a lot over the last couple of years. And I really hold him up as someone that really it's like a textbook. Here's how to do it. If you want to be a young musician in the world of contemporary or smooth jazz right now, here's the things that you need to do. And he did that so effortlessly. I know he worked his what off for years to make it happen, but it looked so effortless for him. Yeah. He's just an incredibly talented young man. He's a go-to for me on so many levels. So I really am impressed. I can't wait to hear that album, Daniel.
Yeah, we're halfway done. So excited. He just texted me recently, actually like last night, to ask me how how I was working on more songs. I think just so many things have been happening and exciting stuff. So I need to jump back into that. So even Adam is chasing me already. So yeah, I'll definitely send you some of the music as well. Yeah,
he just played beautifully on. I'm making a new record as well, just at the tail end of it right now, and he played beautifully on that as well. So I'm happy about that.
And we are definitely going to talk about that. But before this, I think at this halfway point, it would be very nice for us to play some music live for those who are watching. So for those of you who are watching, if you guys want, Dave to play any songs, I have my horn here behind, and I can jump in on some of your requests as well. So this is going to be a short segment, a rapid fire song request session. So do let us know in the comments any songs you would like, both of us to play. Could be Dave songs, could be any songs that has a special meaning for you. So let's see. Let me get my horn.
This is called Stump the Sax Player.
Yeah.
Try and stump us. See if we can do it.
All right. Feng from Vietnam. First song coming in. Oh, sorry. Second song. Joseph says Misty. Dave, you wanna take Misty?
I'll take the first bar. You take the second part.
Okay.
Should we go on or keep them rapid fire?
Yeah, I think that works. So hope you guys hope you enjoyed that. I know I already see the comments pouring in. So we're gonna do short snippets of each song. So
Okay.
thank you so much. And Feng is asking for "You Make Me Smile."
Okay. I have to play it on alto. Sorry about that.
Man, what a classic and timeless song as well. Thank you so much, Dave. And Gerard is asking if you can play the dance.
Yeah.
You can skip as well if you want.
See, you ever have this problem, Daniel, where you know the song, and it's your song, even though I didn't write that song, it was Garth Brooks' song originally, but you know it, right? But then in the line of fire right now, when somebody requests it, like, yeah. Oh, I remember it. Here we go. See, I just had to talk about it for a second. Or something like that.
Man. Yeah, sounds great. And the next song request is actually coming from Russell Wong, who I had on the show. And Russell was the one who actually hooked us up through email. So thanks, Russell, for helping to facilitate this. And so amazing to see Russell here at the show. I think you guys go a long way back.
We do. This is going back to, I can't remember whether I met Russell in Singapore or whether it was Hong Kong. Oh no, maybe it might have been Malaysia where I met him. I think that's where it was in Kuala Lumpur. But that's how, just to give you an idea of how long it is that we've known each other, I can't remember where we met, which city. But I think that somebody from the record company hooked us up, and he took some pictures of me, and a friendship was made. And I just saw him last year in Singapore. We hung out together and went out to, I can't remember, he and his wife took me and my friend to the most unbelievable, I think it was in Little India, you know, that street
Yeah.
that has all the flags on it. I can't remember the name of the street, but this hole in the wall. And it was a meal that I will never forget for the rest of my life. It was unreal. They had a dosa that was like it was like a hat this kind of size that they served. It was so good. Thank you, Russell, for that. Thank you very much for that.
And Russell is requesting for the tune Emily.
I think that shows me how long we've known each other. That was in 1990, so we've known each other for 30 years.
30 years, wow. Beautiful. That was Emily going out to Russell. Thank you for helping us to make this show possible. We have Nicole and my wife Miss Lou as well, both asking for "Know You" by heart. That's one of my favorite songs of yours as well. Maybe we could try doing something
Yeah,
together. Let's
we
see.
should
You
do
can
that.
start it off.
Okay. Why do you think this song is? It's so funny. This song was never released as a single, and I hardly play it live, honestly, in shows, because people don't necessarily in the States. People don't
Mm.
necessarily know that song. But why do you? I mean, it's the one song in Asia that just everybody. If I go to Asia to play and I don't play this song, I'm in deep trouble.
So
So
interesting. I think it's just amazing melody, and even it's just with keyboards and a nice chill rendition. But man, I think plus the way you play it, it's just yeah, it's amazing. And I think a lot of people here in Asia they gravitate towards the ballads. Of course we love your energetic and funky tunes, but ballads just have a place I guess in many people's hearts. So I'm surprised as well. I started doing that song, your song, in some of my shows, and even my wife, she just heard it recently, when I covered it, and instantly she said that's her favorite, you know
it's
song
an
of yours.
interesting thing when you talk about it from a musical perspective and a saxophone perspective, that it sounds sometimes, even with more up-tempo songs that are very syncopated and complex fingerings or whatever, that it sounds like those are harder to play. But you talk to any sax or any instrumentalist at all
Yeah,
about what's harder to play, it's the ballads are, whew. I mean, to play
absolutely.
a ballad that's what you have to work on, and you have to know the right amount to embellish the melody, but you can't do it too much. It's like such a tightrope to walk all the time.
It is. And I work with my students all the time, for your tunes like Zheng Fu and all your ballads. And it's really a masterclass, really, and I'm not saying that lightly. We always, look up to what you do, in a ballad. So transcribing a lot. And I know a lot of my students and saxophonists here in Asia, they just love to hear you play ballads, and it's just so beautiful.
Well, we're instrumentalists. We don't have the benefit of having a lyric to fall back on. And when you're a singer and you have a lyric, there's a lot of information coming out. There's the melody, there's the inflection, there's intonation, there's time. But then you have this huge thing that adds the meaning, which is lyric. But how do you do that? How do you play a song without a lyric, especially with a song that has a lyric that you're not playing, like Misty, for example, that we did?
Yeah.
How do you put that information in the melody so that people feel something? They may not have to feel the same thing as the lyric is trying to tell you, but they have to feel something. And that's why we do what we do. You and I and a whole slew of other people in the world. It's trying to find that one little thing that it's always a moving target, and you can't put your finger on it and capture it. It's an elusive thing, but that's what we're all shooting for, is how to be as emotional and as emotionally present with our melodies. That's what, there are saxophone players, yourself included, that blow circles around me. I'm not a technician on the saxophone at all, and I never wanted to be. I studied, but that part of saxophone playing really didn't interest me as much as being able to communicate melodies on a very heart-based level. Even if it's the funkiest up-tempo thing you've ever heard, it's still playing the melody, communicating an emotion, which is a very important thing for the listener and for the artists themselves.
Absolutely. I mean, for me, nothing beats a good ballad, just played well. And man, and nothing beats this song for sure, Know You by heart. So let's
Let's see
let's
what we can
play that
do.
for Nicole and Miss Lou.
I see we made our way through that.
Wow, wow, that's amazing, and that's a dream come true for me also, to be able to play that amazing tune with you.
Buddy,
Um,
you sound so beautiful, so sweet. I love the
thank
way you play that song.
That means a lot coming from you. It's just years of transcribing, you
Really mean.
playing. And yeah, and I usually play the tenor sax. That's my main voice. But I thought, okay, what no better time to bust out the alto than to
Really?
play some tunes with you. So that's so amazing. And we have Asian. Sorry, I might have to skip some of your, the comments are going crazy. But I think what I want to do is, I've been just looking through, and I think now more than ever, I think the world needs a lot of songs about hope and love and joy, and I really love this tune, and it's from Adrian actually. So Adrian requested a tune called Smile, and I think
Oh
it'd
yeah.
be really beautiful for today.
Yes, this is one of my all-time favorite songs, and written by Charlie Chaplin. It's a very old song, but there's something about this melody right now, right in this moment in time. The song is a reminder. It's a very sad song. When you listen to the lyrics, this is a very sad song, but it's also got that tiny little wisp of hope in there that gives people that will to move to the next day, So.
Man, amazing. And I was scrolling through the comments, and many others were asking for the tune Smile as well. So thank you, Dave, for playing that. Just
My
just
pleasure.
beautiful, man. And I think my wife was asking it would be nice if you played Cheng Fu or Conquered, and actually that was a Chinese tune. So how did you decide to put that on your album?
That was a companion piece to an album called The Dance, which came out in 1999, a little over 20 years ago. And I think it was a record company in Asia, the EMI record company in Asia, that said if we did maybe like 4 or 5 songs that are for the Asian market specifically, it would help the sales of The Dance there. We could do that. So I was like, well, I'd love to hear some songs, some suggestions. And Cheng Fu was one of them. And I listened to it, and the original had a tremendous amount of power, but it also had, most importantly, a great melody. It actually was a great melody for saxophone. And so that's why we recorded it. I worked on it with Brian Culbertson. Brian was the producer of that record. And we every time that I go to Asia, people know that song, Cheng Fu. Let me hear Cheng Fu. But you just asked it to me to play it, and I'm trying to remember now if I can. Hold on.
And maybe Dave, besides this song going out to Miss Lu, I think we can do this song going out to Kiwai from Malaysia. He's a great, one of the hardest working people I know on the saxophone and just putting hours and hours. And I know I've been working on with him on this song, and he's been, transcribing like mad as well, to hear how you play this song. He absolutely loves it. So this song will be going out to Kiwai as well, a special song for you. And let's see if we can try to do it together.
Okay, do you know the verse? I can remember the.
Okay. I can start off the verse, and I think you remember it.
Okay, you start this one. It's the key of E flat, right? Or C on the alto? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I got it.
Man, yeah. It's so amazing. And do you remember you played that at the saxophone pub when you were there in Thailand last year? With Cole, Mr. Saxman's band. So Cole is a great friend of mine, absolutely one of the best guys. And I'm sure he's watching here, probably on Facebook. And yeah, Kiwai has been, listening to that version. So how was it like playing in Thailand? You just came off a cruise and you go for a holiday and you decide to play even more. That was amazing.
Cole, Mr. Saxman is one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. I love that guy. He is all love. He just is the walking epitome of love, that guy. And I met him through Darren Ron, who I know you know as well, years ago, because Darren was producing something for Ko and said, can we all do this together? I met Ko, and then I went to Thailand and met him. And so we became great friends. And then I told him that we were coming, and he was leaving to go somewhere else the day that we were coming in. So we met at the airport. He took us out for dinner. My friend and I, we took us out for dinner. We had a great visit. And then he left. He left Thailand. But he said, you have to go to the saxophone pub tonight and sit in with the guys. And I'll make sure they all know that you're coming and everything. And I was like, it's going to be weird to go there without you. I mean, it's your place. But he said, promise me you will go. So I went. And my friend and I walk in there, and it was just, you've been there, right?
Yeah.
It is the best. I wish they had a saxophone pub in every city. It's just so cool. The vibe, it's just small, and everybody's just on top of each other, and it's just an incredible musical vibe. And the band was killing. So I spoke to the band leader, I'm happy to play it. Ko said to come and play a little bit. If it's cool, I'm happy to sit and enjoy you guys. But if you want me to play, I got my horn. So they called me up, and we played that song. We played a bunch of other music, and it was so special. I have to say, like people like yourself, Ko, there's Mr. Du in China. I mean, I've been to China, and there's amazing saxophonists there. All over the world, there are these unbelievably talented guys and women too. I think we should figure out a way, and I'm going to put this to you, Daniel. We can talk about it offline, but I think we should figure out. Ko and I have been talking about it. Other saxophone players here in the United States, we've been talking about it. Having this kind of like international sax congress, where we all get together, and it's not just heavily based on United States players. It's really weighted on a world conference of people all over the world playing the instrument in their own unique way. young, old, male, female, everything. It just seems like it would be. There's so many fans of the saxophone now all over the world. An instrument that really has had its second coming lately, especially.
Yeah.
So we're going to put something like that together.
That would be amazing, and I'm definitely happy to help facilitate wherever I can. And I think that would be so cool. It's just been, and that's one of the big reasons why I wanted to do this show as well. I think, of course, you guys are 24-hour flight away. Huge time zone differences in the US, but I think if we can use the saxophone as the medium, to connect the world, really, I think that's just been so amazing. And yeah, these live shows are just a glimpse of that, and people are watching and being able to hear from you, and the stories, and it's just been so amazing. So I think definitely an international saxophone congress sounds really good. We'll make it happen. For
Okay,
sure.
I'm excited.
You have my word.
We need all the
that
help we can get. You and me,
For
Dan.
sure. That sounds good. And I just suddenly thought of this other song that I haven't even heard for a long time. And it's actually an Indonesian song that I know you like to do when you go to Indonesia. And I think this was one of your albums called Kelly Roo.
Oh, love that song.
I love that song
You
as
know
well.
it? You know how to play it?
I need to try it as well, but I think it's somewhere at the back of my head. So let's see what happens.
Let's hear.
So this is actually an Indonesian tune that Dave plays so beautifully, and I fell in love with it. I did it for a live show like probably 6 years ago. So let's see if it's still there.
We're finishing each other's phrases, Daniel. I like it. You got an alto sound, by the way. Beautiful sound.
Thank you so much. That means a lot coming, from you. Just years of listening to you, man. This is so wonderful. And it just hit me while I was playing that, a saxophonist from Singapore, playing with you all the way in LA and playing an Indonesian tune, playing a Chinese tune, it's just it still baffles me, how I guess music and the saxophone has, just brought everyone, and it has the ability, I think, to bring the world closer together. I guess it's just what we choose to do with it. And man, just you doing what, yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt, buddy.
Oh, no problem. And just hearing, what you feel about the cruise, as a medium to bring people together. It's just, it's just incredible to hear that from you. And man, this has, this didn't go the way I planned, but just playing these tunes and having this segment. It was supposed to be a short segment, but I'm having so much fun, doing it and playing these tunes with you and for the audiences. So yeah,
Daniel, the thing that you said about the saxophone, I think is really true, in that we're very blessed, you and I know you have a lot of saxophone players that are joining us tonight. We're blessed to play an instrument. This is, I never thought, when I picked this instrument up, I was 13 years old. It's almost 45 years ago. I never thought in a million years that this would be my how I make a living, but it has brought me so many gifts and blessings in my life to travel the world. And tonight is extremely special for me to talk with you and to specifically have an opportunity to address the Asian audience, which has been so good to me. I remember on my very first album, when I met Russell in Malaysia. I was invited to Malaysia because one song, the song that he requested, Emily, became a pop hit in Malaysia and in many of the Southeast Asian countries. And here was a kid, fresh into the music business, coming to Malaysia. I remember the time that I came off the plane. I was a wreck, because it was a 20-hour flight or whatever.
Yeah.
And I get off the plane and I notice there's a bunch of TV reporters and cameras and paparazzi and stuff. And I'm like, gosh, I must be on the plane with a big celebrity. And I'm looking behind me and all these people were there for me and taking pictures of me. And I looked so horrible. It was terrible. But it was like the beginning of a love affair that I've had for 30 years with all the countries of Asia. And I've been all over Asia playing, and not just playing my music, but as you mentioned, learning local songs and playing songs that emanated from the countries that I'm in. It's a sign of respect. It's a sign of gratitude for the experiences, and just getting a chance to travel the world. There's nothing better, and there's no better mirror to hold up to yourself to know who you are than getting out of your comfort zone and traveling to a foreign country and seeing how other people live and how other people listen to music and how other people play music and how other people eat and what they eat, and all the cultural significance that I've gotten, that I've used in my life to make my life more vital and colorful in my life. I've gotten from my travels. Many of my travels in Asia have proven to be life-changing experiences, and they still are. So I look forward to coming back and playing with you live on stage in front of people with no masks, because we won't need them. They'll all be behind us.
Man, I can't wait for that day. Dave, just your music, has traveled all the way, here. That I can guarantee you. The number of people who have told me that, they look up to you and just, absolutely love your music. And, we have a Yamaha poster of you in my shop. Yeah, I actually have a saxophone shop over here in Singapore. And, it's just been amazing. I think you and your music have been such a blessing to us over here. It transcends boundaries. And since we are talking about music, before we forget, you have a new album coming up. So maybe now would be a good time for you to share with the audiences a bit more about this.
Yeah, this is a 30th anniversary album. It's my first album of original material in 10 years, believe it or not. I've had a lot of albums come out in the last 10 years, but they've been summer horns and Christmas albums and a live album. So this is the all original material. And we've got some wonderful guest artists. I did a duet. I've always wanted to do this, and I finally made it happen. I got a chance to write a song and do a duet with my saxophone hero, David Sanborn. So it's a really great, cool song. Kind of got a Steely Dan type of vibe to it. And David sounds amazing. And that was a dream come true to make music with him. We've done touring together, and we've known each other for a very long time, but this is the first time we've ever recorded something. I did a duet with Bob James, one of my main heroes in music. Brian McKnight sings on one of the songs. Michelle Indigio-Cello, I don't know if people know about her. She's an amazing bass player here in the United States. And Rick Braun and Philippe Sace and Marc Antoine. And it's a really kind of a lot of different variety of styles and songs. But I'm proud of it. It's funny. I don't know if you have the same experience. I think every artist is a little insecure about their music. Even though I've been doing this for so long, I hope it's good. I don't know if it's good. I hope. We can only hope, right? If we like it, then hopefully somebody else will like it.
Yeah, so amazing. And when do you think the audiences will be able to get their hands on this album?
Oh, we're just in the mixing stage now. We'll start doing releases like on Spotify and the streaming services starting in August, and the album will come out the same week as my very first album came out 30
Wow.
years ago in 1990. So it'll be in the early October, second week of October of 2020, 30 years to the week later than my first album came out.
Wow, wow. That's gonna be really special. So you guys heard it, here. I'm sure Dave is working really hard on that album, despite your busy schedule. And thank you for sharing that with us. We're so excited. Really, really can't wait. And yeah, I just had Darren on the show a few weeks ago, and he was telling me he was busy working on this album as well. So man, we're
He's done a
definitely.
great job on this project. He's a very, very talented. There's one thing about making records with other producers, but if your producer is also a saxophone player, wow, that's the best. He spoils me rotten, Darren Ron.
Wow, that's
He's
yeah, we
awesome.
really, really yeah. He's another amazing guy. We had such great conversations and yeah, just amazing, amazing person as well. So wow. And I think the comments are going a bit crazy. I don't think I can address every single comment. And I know Dave, you had a long day, and we're gonna start wrapping up this show. And maybe Dave, what would you be? What does the rest of the year look like for you? What do you think?
Wow. I think we have to be comfortable in not knowing what's going to happen. I had shows planned, which all have been canceled. The next thing that's still on the books is our Christmas tour. I've been doing a Christmas tour for this is our 20 coming up on our 24th year
Mm,
Christmas tour. But right now, I'm not sure if it's going to happen. I would say it's like a 50-50 chance. Probably, if I was betting, I would bet that it's not going to happen this year. So that's sad, but I'm not sure yet. So I'm keeping an open mind and a good attitude about it. And then the record is going to come out this fall, and that's really all I got for you. This is one of those years every musician that I ever talked to this year about 2020, they said when 2020 hit January, it's like, this is going to be my best year ever. I got
yeah.
all these gigs and I got all lined up, ready to go. And then bam, you know? So I think we're all in the same boat of, wouldn't it be great to have a lot to do, but we have to find comfort and be okay with the fact that we're not going to be that busy this year, and we can come up with new things to do, like your show. Did this show exist before COVID? No, right? So look at what you did. You created something that was not there before, and it's obviously from the people that are watching right now. You've kind of tapped a nerve, and people are enjoying it. And I know, because I've done it, how hard this is to do and how much work is related to it. And you doing it every week with somebody new every week. So I want to say thank you to you for keeping the spirits alive and keeping people entertained during this time, and for having me on your show. I really, really appreciate it. I'm a fan of yours, and I think you're fantastic. And I look forward to being in person with you and playing side by side with you very soon, buddy.
Dave, thank you so much. That would be a huge dream come true for me. Just to hang and have more conversations. I think I really treasure. Aside from music, of course, that's marvelous, but just the conversations and the stories and the relationships. That's what makes music even better. And we really, really appreciate you taking time out. And it's just I just still marvel. I think this is probably like my going to be my 30th live stream show already, and the past 10, have been all with amazing special guests like Darren, Eric Maranto, Michael Linton, and everyone being so gracious with their time. It's just amazing, and their stories and playing, it just still baffles me. So I'm excited to keep this going because it really draws the Asian audience, to their heroes. You guys are all my heroes, and I know I'm not alone in this. So thank you so much, Dave, for being here today. And I think now would be a great time to end off with this tune. We spoke about it before the show. One of my absolute most favorite songs of yours is a tune called What You Leave Behind. And it's just such a powerful song, so much to think about, and I think no better way than to end the show. And maybe you could share with us a bit more about that tune.
It's so funny that that's the song that is one of your favorites, because it's buried on an album. I think it was the Hello Tomorrow album. It's kind of way. I think it might be the last song on the album, and
It is.
obviously it was never a single or anything. And most people have never heard it. But sometimes as a songwriter, this is a strange experience. It happens very rarely, but sometimes a song is inside of your brain and struggling to get out. And we, as curators, or we're judges of our own thing, we say to ourselves, there's this song, this melody that's going around and around, and it's not that good. I'll just leave it alone. I'm not gonna play it, and not gonna try and write it. But then it keeps knocking from the inside, and it was just, this song needed to come out, and I would not let it come out for years. I mean, it was rolling around there for probably two and a half years.
Wow.
So finally, it was with Darren Ron. Darren and I were working on something. I said, Darren, just record. I got to get this thing out. I got to just play this melody. And then I played the melody, and I realized, and then I put a little piano by it, and I realized what it was. It was very soon after Wayman Tisdale, the great bass player, was a dear friend of mine, very soon after he passed away. And it had been in my head, and I realized that it was a song for Wayman. And that's why I called it What You Leave Behind, because even though he had passed, he was a young man. He died of cancer at 44 years old. But he was a huge guy, former NBA basketball player, bass player, but he was just a star. Didn't matter whether he was on the concert stage or the basketball court, the guy was just a star. And he was such a sweet, loving, smiling individual. And it's amazing to me, he's been gone for a lot of years, and it pretty much every day somebody brings him up to me. He left such a huge amount of love on this plane when he left. And that's another example of it, What You Leave Behind. So every time I play it, I think about his incredible contribution to this lifetime, to my lifetime, and to all the people that he touched. And everybody has that ability while they're here to make the most out of their lives, to create that feeling when you leave, where you say, oh my gosh, this is a tremendous absence of somebody. And yet, even though their body physically is not there, everything else is still there. That's what this song is all about.
Amazing. Yeah, it's just one of the most beautiful melodies, and just the meaning behind it. It gets me thinking for days, even after I play the song and during playing the song, it's just wonderful. And I remember ending my shows, many years ago with this tune, and it's just, and no better time to play it than with you, to
right.
end up this wonderful show. So this is a tune called What You Leave Behind.
Awesome, buddy.
Man, Dave, thank you so much. That was amazing. And hope the rest of you enjoyed that tune. So no better way than to end off with that tune. And, really so much for us to think about in these crazy times. And how we move forward, I guess. So Dave, man, thank you so much for being here. And man, and those of you, in the comments, you can, say thanks to Dave as well in the comments. It's just been amazing. And Dave, we definitely have to do this again.
You say
There's
the
so
word, buddy. I would love to come back and do it again. I've enjoyed this so much. I see that Mr. Saxman made it. So
Oh, he did. I mean,
Kapkon
oh
Makmakrab,
yes.
Kapkon Makmakrab. That's all the time that I know.
And we can even do, a nice, a group show, with different people in Asia. I think that might be fun as well. But man, thank you so much, Dave. It's been
Pleasure, buddy.
amazing. And yeah, we definitely need to, keep in touch and do this more often if possible. And yeah, let me know if you have any space in the baggage department, on your cruises. You just save me a space there.
You got it, buddy. It's great talking with you. Great playing with you. Thank you for playing my music so beautifully, and much continued success in all that you do. And thank you to all of the viewers today and tonight who joined in the festivities here. I had a great time with all of you, and thank you so much. And thank you, Daniel, so much. And say hi to Miss Lou for me.
I definitely will. Thank you so much, Dave. And yeah, that's it for us today. Do subscribe to this channel if you haven't for more amazing guests upcoming. This weekend we have Mr. Tom Politzer from the Tower of Power here as well, and it's gonna be incredible. So do look out for it. And goodbye for now.